This is section 3.2, quadratic functions. So we're going to review quadratic functions, and we're going to start with characteristics of parabolas. Remember, a parabola is the name of the shape or the graph of a quadratic. So the vertex is the turning point. The y-intercept and x-intercepts are exactly what you would think they are, where they cross the x and the y-axis. And the axis of symmetry is the line x equals the x value of the vertex. So in this case, the axis of symmetry is at the line x equals 1. Our vertex here is at 1, -4. Our y-intercept is -3. And we have two x-intercepts of -1 and +3. We have two different forms that we're going to work with. The first form is general form. The f of x equals ax squared plus bx plus c. To find the vertex, you take -b over 2a, and then just plug that back into the function to find the y value. So this right here is the x value. Remember, general form, when you're trying to find x-intercepts, we use the quadratic formula, or you can use factoring. So just remember your x equals -b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So that's finding the x-intercepts. For standard form, we have f of x equals a times the quantity x minus h squared plus k, where our vertex is hk. For all quadratic functions, we have a domain of -infinity to infinity, and the range is either the vertex and above or the vertex and below, depending on whether or not it opens up or down. Remember, if a is positive, then it opens up. If a is negative, then it opens down. So we want to write the equation for the parabola graphed in standard and general form. So the easiest way to do this to start is to do standard form. Actually, general form, sorry. Standard form. We want to do the vertex form. So we first need to know what the vertex is, which it's -2, -3. So we can write the function f of x equals a, x plus 2 squared, or minus 3. And we need to find that a value. So what we're going to do is we're going to pick another point on the parabola, and we're going to plug in our x and our y to find a. Very easy one to do is your x or your y-intercept, which in this case is 0, -1. So -1 equals a times 0 plus 2 squared minus 3. -1 equals 0 plus 2 is 2, squared is 4, so we have 4a minus 3. Add 3 to both sides. 2 equals 4a. Divide by 4, and we get 1/2 4a. So our equation is f of x equals 1/2 x plus 2 squared minus 3. So that's our vertex form. And in order to find the general form, okay, so general form is the ax squared plus bx plus c. All we're going to do is we're going to take our vertex form and we're just going to multiply it up. So f of x equals 1/2. I'm going to write x plus 2 twice and multiply it out. So x plus 2 times x plus 2 gives us x squared plus 4x plus 4 minus 3. Multiply in or distribute in that 1/2, so we have 1/2 x squared plus 2x plus 2 minus 3. We get f of x equals 1/2 x squared plus 2x minus 1. So these two are the same function, just written different ways. All right, find the vertex of 2x squared minus 6x plus 7 and rewrite in standard form or vertex form. So the first thing we need to do is find the vertex. And remember our x value is negative b over 2a. Okay, we learned that up here. So we have a, b, and c. So negative 6 is positive 6 over 2 times 2. So we have 6 over 4, which is 3 over 2. You can use 3 over 2 or you can use 1/2, or 1.5, doesn't matter, 1.5. So that's our x value. We need to find our y value. So what we're going to do is we're going to take f of 3/2. So 2 times 3/2 squared minus 6 times 3/2 plus 7. 3/2 squared is 9/4. So 2 times 9/4 is 18/4 or 9/2. If we have negative 6 times 3 over 2 is negative 18 over 2, which becomes negative 9 plus 7. So we have 9/2 minus 2. Instead of 2, I'm going to write 4 over 2 to give us 5 over 2. So our vertex is 3 over 2, 5 over 2. Then we want to rewrite in standard form or vertex form, which once we have the vertex, it's pretty easy. So we have f of x equals, our a value is going to stay the same, so it's 2, x minus 3 over 2 squared plus 5 over 2. And then we're done. So maximums and minimums occur at the vertex. So a minimum occurs when the parabola opens up, and a maximum occurs when a parabola opens down. Okay, remember the minimum and maximum we're talking about the y value. The x value tells us where it occurs. If you just give me a point, that's totally fine. All right, and last thing, finding x and y intercepts. So the y-intercept on this one's pretty easy. When it's in this form, your y-intercept is just this number. So the y-intercept is negative 2. Easy enough. And then we want to look at our x-intercepts. So that means we want f of x to be equal to 0. So we need to figure out what value of x makes it 0. So this is one where we can try factoring, or we can try the quadratic formula. I'm going to try factoring. So remember, to factor this one, we have to multiply the first times the last, which gives us negative 6. And we're looking for factors of negative 6 that add up to positive 5, which I happen to know are 6 and negative 1. So I'm going to rewrite 0 equals 3x squared plus 6x minus x minus 2. Notice that it's just rewriting it. I just split that 5x up. Then we factor by grouping. So I'm going to take these first two terms and say, what do they have in common? Well, they have a 3x in common, and it leaves us x plus 2. And then I'm going to take the second two terms. They have a negative 1 in common, so I'm just going to go minus 1 times x plus 2. If these match, then you're good. 0 equals, we're going to pull out that x plus 2 in the front, and then 3x minus 1. Once we have it factored, remember that in order for this product over here to be 0, either x plus 2 has to equal 0, or 3x minus 1 has to equal 0. So here solving, we get x equals negative 2. And here solving, we get x equals 1/3. So those are our x-intercepts. If you do not feel as comfortable with factoring, let's look at what that would look like as the quadratic formula. We know our answers, what our answer should be, so let's see if we can get the same thing. So x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So just filling in the numbers. So negative 5 plus or minus the square root of 25. Negative 4 times 3 is 12. Or negative 12 times negative 2 is negative 20, or positive 24. Wow, really doing well. All over 6. So negative 5 plus or minus the square root of 49 over 6. So this is when I split it into two different things. So we have negative 5 plus 7 over 6, and we have negative 5 minus 7 over 6. Negative 5 plus 7 is 2 over 6, which is 1/3. So good thing we got that one to match. Negative 5 minus 7 is negative 12 over 6, which is just negative 2. And we got that one to match as well.